piece of advice to the legal profession?
We have to be honest all the time, very bold, not subject to influences. Has to be very fair. We have to encourage and still. You have to be fair. It is that sometimes they don't get the proper guidance.
Welcome to Lawfully Yours, a space where we look beyond the courtroom to meet the minds and the lives behind the law. For our very first episode, we have the honor and privilege of welcoming Mr. Subhas Lallah, Senior Counsel, and a distinguished member of the Mauritian Bar. Mr. Subhas Lallah was called to the bar in Mauritius on the 24th of December 1971. Today, we go beyond case law and chambers to discover the man behind the black room. So welcome, Mr. Subhas Lallah.
Thank you, Yadin. Thank you for
And thank you for accepting the privilege.
being the first about the legal profession you're interviewing.
Indeed.
When you say I was called to the bar in December 71, I recall that day. It was before Mr. Justice Ramphal.
Okay.
And the next morning I got my first case.
On 25th of December.
Yes, I got my first case. And that will remain my faithful client for years. And even in our profession, when we do well, we say people refer to facts.
This is a word of mouth.
And we refer quite a number of grants.
So you were called to the bar even before my birth.
Wow.
Mr. Lallah, what drew you to the law, for instance?
I think it's in the DNA. It's hard to say that. But ever since I could remember, my mother used to tell me, when the Lallas were QP.
Yes.
And then with that, they was shifting to the bungalows in Ujitombe. And scoring QP. So she would be in a story where my grandfather would be so stripped down on me.
Oh, when you were his kid?
Carry and keep me warm, I should cook. And he said that, Grandpa said, you would be a great career on.
Well, this is the family influence. But was there a specific moment in your life that when you said, this is what I want to do?
I wanted to do that because there's so much of injustice going around. I feel sad. And still lots of injustice going around. And you can't fight it alone. You need to have the support the government every day. You need to have the support together members of the Bar Council, the solicitors. You need the support of clean professionals.
Mr. Lallah, you carry a legacy in the legal field. Would you like to know about the association of your family with the law?
Well, it started more than a century ago with Buddha Nana, who was my grandfather, and this brother. There were three brothers. Buddha, that brother, and the other one who started the
Kenal.
who started the
Arya Samaj.
There's been always some revolutionary ideas in the family,
And it's still going on.
Still going on. So I was attracted also to join politics because of that. I knew my grandfather had a lot of suicide. He was staying with us. He was staying actually at Kemba
Oh, you mean that Subhas Lallah used to study at the Royal College? Okay. So the close association between the Rambulams and the Lallah.
The all my rap.
The Olin, yes.
On
Sasisanga.
And we used to call him Kewal, Toton Kewal, because my dad used to call him Kewal. Everybody used to call him Kewal. So I brought my Sasi Usaga. I didn't know him as Kewal. Kewal. And whenever he was in London, he would call me for lunch on Sundays. And when we were alone, he related lots of things to me. So I enjoyed the benefit of his experience also.
And that had to mold you in a way.
He was a great visionary. Make no mistake about that. I remember when he started with the Chichamegu and especially the new truck road, how he was criticized, how he was saying it's a white elephant. Today it has to go broader. We have to build bigger roads, broader roads, because there are so many vehicles.
So, your grandfather was associated with the law?
Of course, he was solicitor first. Budan was solicitor in 1905.
Yes.
And Dampan was solicitor in 1913. You know, they passed the exam before a full white badge. It must have been very tough for that.
And then subsequently, your brothers also went the profession.
My brother, uncle, cousins, Labsumer.
Labsumer with Chief Justice.
Jacha Amrucham. And my other brother, Ajkumar Amaturi.
So when Subhas Lallah was solicitor, yes.
Subhas Lallah's son, Pitan, is also
is solicitor. And your kids also are
all my three children.
All three children are in the profession. Yes. So you're carrying forward the...
Yeah, very proud, and very proud of my son Mithilesh, who's very well, is very well, in civil cases, litigation, especially specializing in UN arbitration. I'm very proud to feel him very, very well. Good.
Mr. Lallah, as we said earlier, you were called to the bar on the 24th of December 1997. So you had 55 years almost. So what was the bar like when you were called?
Well, first thing I would tell you is that when I was called to the bar, Sir Hamid Golan introduced me to all the senior counsel. There was that practice then for newcomers to go and meet and introduce yourself to the judges, to the magistrate, and then to all the senior counsel. And I'm trying to note that this practice has almost disappeared.
Yeah, this was the case when we were called as well.
Yeah, so I'm sad to say that this practice has disappeared. And then, so if when we're going out there, they will know who you are. Very often they will call you in chamber, and then we'd have friendly chat. And then in court, of course, they were different. But today, to meet a magistrate or a judge in chambers, it becoming very difficult.
It used to be different when we were at the old Supreme Court building. You know, it was a bit...
Things have changed here. Changed a lot. I don't know why. I feel there should be more accessibility. I'm not saying that counsel should be allowed to phone and harass judges or magistrates, but they should have access, and it's very important for the bon déroulement of the profession.
What has been the most significant change that you have noticed in the profession in Mauritius over the decades?
Significant changes started happening in Mauritius with David Varma as Solicitor General, Victor Glover was at the Crown Office, State Law Office at Sumera. That has changes took place. The Northern Mauritius were consolidated. The Code Civil was updated. So that was that time. Varma was Solicitor General, and big changes started taking place in the Liberal profession.
And as far as the profession itself is concerned, you have mentioned Lili Barsha and Sir Victor Glover, of course.
Yeah, you had people like Nihanjam, you know, as they used to call him, einen Nyanjan, it was very good. Anfal, Usman, they started changing the
landscape.
Yes. And, they applied the law. The law evolved with these people. Understand?
Yes, of course. What has been the most satisfying or memorable moment of your career?
Well, memorable moment when I was member of the Bar Council long time ago. And then why? Jad was the chairman. And the atmosphere was great. It's nice. The Bar Council, the chairman was accessible to anyone, as it is now. Is now. The atmosphere was different. Today it seems everybody is so busy, so taken up.
And any landmark case that you appeared that shaped?
Quite a schedule. In the case of the Chechen Corporation, Chechen Marketing Board, the case of Judge American, big award of damaging the Patel case, which I fought really hard for this.
This was the accident case. Yes. And it went up to the Privy Council.
Yes. Unfortunately, I couldn't be present at the Privy Council with us. That's right. Yanira did a fantastic job. Yes. Okay.
It is the authorities in our merge.
She's a person. And I'm quite happy with my career. I attended up to sitting cases, which I won. And not be, as you know, you got to always be in the case.
Of course.
But I take it as a duty to tell my client what his chances. And that's very important.
Mr. Lallah, you have mentored many pupils, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And what is the advice that you have given to all of them?
Work hard, be honest, remain honest throughout. Because I remember I was going to study the bar in the car, my dad told me. I know people will come to the opener will try to brag. But you've got the name behind it. Don't forget you have the name of the president. That can be always
To guiding principle.
guiding principle. And this is what I would tell the youngsters. Be honest, work very hard. Read the judgment, keep up to date with the judgment of the Supreme Court, keep up to date with the judgment of the Privy Council. You need some luck also.
Of course.
Like, without hard work, you can't succeed.
So this is what you look for in a young barrister.
Yes. Sometimes I may be disappointed. It's tiring, when I was dripping with Hamid, we used to work until 11:30 at night. And we would start back the next day at 6 in the morning. Yes. But I enjoy it. And then on Saturdays, we used either to go to the races or we used to go fishing. But when we work very hard. Yes.
Mr. Lallah, what do you do outside the courtroom? Any rituals, passions, hobbies that tend to keep you grounded?
I have a passion for gardening, for flowers. I have a love gardening. Now I shifted into an apartment because of my age. I can't do much gardening, but we still have lots of green potted tree plants in our terrace. But I had a huge collection of orchids.
You still do?
No. I gave up when I shifted from my house. I had a fantastic collection of Andiana. So every morning I would go in my garden, flower garden, kind of flower the business. It's beautiful. It's really fantastic. And I did the drip watering system. I got the aerial watering system. That was my passion. And my dogs.
Oh, you still do?
And we still have a little one now.
He lives with you in that
Yeah, Dasher. He's our George. She's our George.
Okay.
Yes. And then traveling. I travel a lot with family, almost a family. I'm traveling a lot with my wife. So I enjoy traveling.
In 2025, if you had to start all over again, would you still choose the law?
Yes, I think law is a noble profession. Very noble profession. And you have to fight for justice. It's not readily available.
You need to fight for.
Have to fight for justice. It's sad today, I think the present Attorney General Gadi Glover is well equipped to bring these changes. He got good experience, a good family background. I use his grandfather after he retired as consultant. Even his father was there.
Yes, he was consultant at the Attorney General's office at the constant time as well.
So I personally find it an opinion. I would go to Toahol, I used to call it. He had signed my application form for me to go to read the law, all that. And even subject to you would offer to go to him like a retail service events concert. But I think there should be, everybody today feels that Mauritius the level of corruption has reached a very high level in Mauritius. And I feel the law should be amended. And he has been directly to Guardian Glover. I tell him he should bring a law to change the rule of evidence where the person cannot explain his wealth, unexplainable wealth. That would be one step to reduce corruption. Otherwise, the perception of corruption is very much.
And Mr. Lallah, what would you like your legacy at the park to be? Not in terms of wins, but in terms of values.
I would like to say what Senior also kept telling us. Because after he retired as Chief Justice, he opened this chambers. And Syntax was spent a lot of time together. Yeah, okay. We went for life chance and we spent lots of time together. And he was always saying, the sad thing is that your country will not recognize. And the family that will do the work, particularly great thing that we do because of our past. You don't choose your path, Being a Laha is an asset and a disadvantage also sometimes.
Being a Mama as well.
So for me, my legacy is my children. I can't say much more because whatever you say sometimes is not taken into consideration.
Or misinterpreted as well.
Or misinterpreted. But what I feel very strongly now is that law should come about unexplained wealth. And evidence has to be because you have to prove, because you need to put but his face a person with unexplained wealth must prove how he has acquired, accumulated overnight so much of wealth. This is the only way we fight corruption. This is the only way the country will move forward. The judiciary will move forward.
So this is in terms of corruption. As far as our system is concerned, the legal system is concerned, what is that one thing that you'd like to change?
The system, the judgment are anti-corrupting. I mean, our judges, our magistrates are overworked by them. They should be helped. I think they should recruit lawyers for 5 years to be assistant to the judges. We can help the judges do cases in court. We argue by research, whatever research that you try to get. his assistant could do that. They had to be professionals with some experience. And we can expect to find today.
Judgment, shortest piece of time. Would you be in favor of a time limit for delivering judgment?
Of course. I've got cases where judgment is pending for over 3 years, 85 years. So it's not possible.
Like they say, delayed justice is injustice.
Yes. Now we've got other arbitration cases where appellates try to postpone, delay. So it's sad. It's sad. But some people thrive on postponing, delaying the due legal process. And this is sad. This has to be correct.
So, Mr. Lallah, one last word that you would like to tell us, and also a piece of advice to the legal profession.
We have to be honest all the time, very important. Not subject to influences, not subject to any sort of protectionism. You know? But it should be fair.
The fair system.
It should be very fair. And has to be very fair. We have to encourage still. You have to be fair to that. Sometimes they don't get the proper guidance. And has to be respected. This is the institution which should command respect.
Indeed. We thank you heartily for having accepted our invitation. I hope that she goes out. It will go out. That it will.
Lord, and do the art. And some changes can be brought.
We are very thankful to you, Mr. Lallah, by being taking the time to be with us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Right.
So we thank Mr. Subhas Lallah for having accepted our invitation. If you like this episode, don't forget to share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.